tonight. Hey,
Hello,
okay,
everybody. How are you today? We are here today again with Simone and many other people. But Simone is the backbone of this project of English Brazil International. She has so many friends around the world, okay? And she has some interesting people in this group today. Some are like observing and watching what we're doing, but Alex is the man of the hour. Woo!
exactly. Alex, I mean, what can I tell them about you? Alex is actually a friend slash customer. We've met like 4 or 5 years ago at work, and I think I find him one of the nicest people that I've ever met. And it was just the instantly warmth that I received from him, and ever since we've been in touch. So when I told him about this project, he got really excited, and he told me for sure I'd like to help. Also because I have a, how can I say it, Alex? You have like a sweet spot for Brazilians, right? You love Brazilians, so
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I've been there, and a lovely country, lovely people, just wonderful.
There are a lot of people in Brazil from Lebanon.
Well, I'm sorry. Can I have your name again?
My name is Bruce Lee. Hi.
Bruce Lee. Okay, okay. Well, are you good at martial arts or just the name?
No, I'm Bruce Lee with a stomach. I have a little stomach. Bruce Lee didn't
Okay.
have a stomach.
No, so your name is Bruce, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Bruce. Yeah. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question you were asking?
Yes. Well, it's basically an observation that in Sao Paulo in particular, there are many people
Yeah.
from Lebanon.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Lebanon, the population of Lebanon is about 5.5 million at this point, right now. And there are between 8 and 10 million Brazilians of Lebanese origin right now
Wow.
in Brazil. So more Lebanese in Brazil than there are in Lebanon.
Wow. That's it.
yeah. That's the
And mostly in
reality,
Sao Paulo,
right?
actually.
Mhm.
Yes. That's one of the things that I told you when we first met about. I knew there was a lot of Lebanese in Brazil,
Brazil's
and now because of the situation with the war, you lost lots of family and
Brazil's the melting pot of the
population,
world.
right?
Yeah,
The mel-
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, people from Lebanon started moving to Brazil in during World War One because it was the time of the Ottoman Empire in this area, and people were starving, and there was a blockade in the sea, and well, basically, what happened is the Allies were blockading the area from, of course, the Ottomans, the Turks were on the Axis side, and the food was very scarce, and of course, the Ottomans took it all to themselves, and so the Lebanese population was starving, and people started leaving and moving out of Lebanon, going around the world to the U.S., to various countries, but a lot of them ended up in Brazil, in South America, but a lot in Brazil, more than any other country.
Mhm. Cool. Cool.
Wow, that's amazing. Luis just joined us. Luis is also a very kind friend of mine. He's from Spain, and he's going to be observing today as well. So, welcome, Luis. We are here just for your information with Alex. He's from Lebanon, and we just started. So, listen a little bit to us, and if you get ready to ask some questions, go ahead. Let me ask you something, Alex. Can you tell us, the Brazilians especially, what do you think are the similarities in culture between Lebanon and Brazil? Because I think there are plenty.
Well, I think the personalities are similar. You know, I've been to Brazil on three different occasions, and I find the people, I went in '92. I went, well, twice in '92, and then in I think it was 2010 or nine or something like that. So I find the people, you know, friendly and open, and they kind. I find kindness. I mean, of course, there are in a country there are all sorts of people. It's every country has a variety of personalities and people, and some are nice, some are not. But in general, you can generalize that there are a lot of similarities in the culture.
Carlos, are you ready to ask some questions?
Oh, hello everyone. Good afternoon or good evening. Hey,
Hello, Carlos.
hello, Alexander. Harbr, Charlie. Harbr is your name. You are mute. I guess your name is Charlie, and you are a barber.
There you
You
go.
are from. Okay, good, good. I'm happy to be here with so many people from different parts of the world. Okay.
And
And
Carlos, you're from Brazil, right?
yeah. I live in the city of Curitiba, South
Oh,
Brazil.
okay. Okay,
Okay.
great, wonderful.
When I listen to Lebanon, in general, we are worried about the war, people suffering. Okay, what's your city, Alexander? And then what's the situation in Lebanon? Are you in risk of life now or not?
Carlos, it's I'm just a little bit north of Beirut, and in the
Okay.
mountains. Not too far in the mountains. I mean, it takes about I can be on the shore in about 12, 13 minutes, the Mediterranean. But the situation right now is it's always been a problem. We're just in a bad neighborhood. Let's just put it this way. Lebanon is just in a bad neighborhood. So there has always been a problem. Occasionally, things are stable and calm for a while, but then something is stirred up again all of a sudden. Right now, we've been since I'll say the last 6 months since the war between Israel and Gaza started. We've been living day to day, just expecting a full-blown war at any time, because there is actually very tense conflict in the south of Lebanon right now, and north of Israel. There are bombings every day, shellings, even air raids. But it's limited to the south of Lebanon so far, and the north of Israel. So we don't know. At any point, it could expand, and the situation could deteriorate, and then there's no more airport, no more. You know, it could get worse. So we've been living under those conditions for 7 months now, but there's always a possibility that nothing will happen, and things will remain as they are until some kind of settlement is established. So, but life goes on here. I mean, people, you know, there air raids and missiles and all sorts of things 100 miles south of here, and people live a normal life.
Okay. Good luck for you and the best wishes for Lebanon.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you.
How about you, Ken? Do you have a question? Maybe for Alex? Oh, he's also mute.
Oh, he's on
there you
mute.
go. Yeah. Oh, I don't hear him.
Yeah, it's better now. You can
Okay.
hear me. Yeah. I'll mute myself now. If the situation now, the situation now in the Middle East, you know, it's something that is really of concern, because anytime there's any spark in the Middle East, it affects the whole world. You know, you can see even in the United States, even as far as even Africa, Nigeria I came from, people are demonstrating, you know. And what, as somebody from that region,
like as somebody from that region, because you will know that area more better than myself that is asking this question. Is there any foresee way that you think that this issue, I know it's issue it's an issue for a very long time. Is there any way that you think or you foresee that there can be a procedure, a lasting solution to this problem in that part of the world?
I think there is a sign, a glimpse of daylight right now, because there could be at some point in the near future some kind of first it has the problem, the core of the problem is this situation in between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Once that is resolved, and then there is some kind of a peace agreement between Israel and the various countries around, that would diffuse some of the tension and kind of pave the way for a better future. But then there's another issue, which is Iran. It's a more complicated thing, which is a separate thing. It's a complicated region because Iran, it's connected, but at the same time separated from the Palestinian-Israeli issue, because Iran has their own goals and ambitions and all that. So the Israelis have their own goals and ambitions. The Palestinians are looking for certain conditions for themselves. So it's a complicated situation. But this area is pivotal for their entire world because of oil and gas, and even regardless of oil and gas, the location, the shipping ways, shipping routes through Mediterranean going to the Indian Ocean, the proximity to Asia, Africa, and Europe. It's a very pivotal area, and that's why I say Lebanon is in a bad neighborhood, because there is a lot of tension going on, a lot of people who are kind of struggling to grasp as much as possible of certain resources and even land and and control of certain areas around here. So it's been going on. The conflicts here have been going on for thousands of years. It's nothing. It's we have a recent issues that have developed in the past few decades, and which have sparked all the problems that we're having right now. But even before that, this region has been I mean, from the Egyptian times, the Persians, Alexander the Great, the Romans, everybody's been here. I mean, there's a place not too far from here, 10 minutes from my house. There's like a tunnel and a river and a rock, and it carved on it is all the different armies that have passed through here. It's just endless. So this is an area of conflict because of its geolocation and the resources and the people, and in fact the people of Lebanon are a mixture of all kind of from various areas. I mean, if you check the DNA of the Lebanese people, there's some European in them. There's some Jewish in them. There's some areas from Ottoman areas, from the Phoenicians. The Phoenicians were here before the Romans, and the Byblos, this a city just north of here, was one of the first cities in the world, 8,000 years old, and there the Phoenicians had the base, and they were the first people to develop the alphabet, and they did a lot of sailing around the world. There's even possibility that they even reached America back about 4,000 years, 3,500 years ago. So there's a long history here. So the Lebanese are a mixture of all these people. So, and because of all these conflicts and all these various armies that came, the Crusades were here, the let's say the conquest from the Arabs that came from at the time of the birth of Islam. They came from the desert, from Saudi Arabia area, from the Gulf region. The armies moved north, and even Mamluks, from Egypt, Egyptian times. The Ottomans, as I said, even there are some came from Mesopotamia, from Iraq. So it's a lot of people throughout the centuries have come in this direction. And then we're here. The geography of Lebanon is right on the Mediterranean. It's a small country, about 10,000 square kilometers, nothing, in respect to Mediterranean. And then it's a lot of mountains in Lebanon. People think that everything in the Middle East has desert. There are no deserts in Lebanon. Mountains, ski resorts. We have ski resorts in Lebanon that are just, you can, in April, you can swim and then go up and ski within 30 minutes. I'm right now 20 minutes from the ski slopes and 10, 12 minutes from the beach. And I can, at this time, today, I can actually do both. There's still some snow, and it's warm enough that people are swimming. If you're in the U.S. and you want to ski in Colorado and swim in Miami, you have to take a 4-hour flight to do that.
Yeah. So, what is the best thing about Lebanon, in your opinion?
The best thing about Lebanon, I think, well, first of all, it's topography. It's a beautiful country. The mountains, the sea. And it's just a beautiful country with a lot of water, because of the mountainous topography. I think that the beauty of the country, the natural beauty, is a nice thing. Another good thing about Lebanon is the population. Nearly everybody is trilingual in Lebanon. They speak English, Arabic, and French. And a lot of people. My daughter, by the way, lives in the U.S. and she speaks Spanish and speaks even some Russian. So Lebanese speak many languages. A lot of people even speak 4 languages or more even. Mm-hmm. And they are a high level of education, and they're open to the entire world. People, they're all well traveled. Well educated, and that's a lot of things like that. And the downside of Lebanon is also the people, because they don't get along with each other. So Lebanon would be a wonderful place if it weren't for the Lebanese. So it's just they don't get along with each other. So that's the problem. And
what about the fruit?
I'm sorry? Oh, the fruits. The fruits, we have a variety. Everything, fruits that you would. We don't have. We have some tropical fruits, but not much. We import, mangoes, for example. There's just one kind of mangoes that grows somewhere here in Lebanon, but we don't have that.
But I talked to a guy in the United States. I talked to a guy in the United States. He was from Lebanon. He said the fruits are just so much better than the American selection in the grocery stores.
Well, yeah, there's a big selection. And traditionally, I would say the fruits in Lebanon were tastier than you can find elsewhere because it was more natural. But now, like everywhere else in the world, they're starting to use chemicals and all kinds of all kinds of things, just for profit, to improve the produce and all that, the appearance of the product, which in return you get a better appearing fruit, but the taste is diminished. So like everywhere in the world, for profit reasons, people have seek such steps that really don't help with the quality of the fruit, but it's still in general okay. And there, it's you can find a lot of variety. That's true. Vegetables, fruits are we have a vast variety. Meat, we import. We have local, beef and for other poultry and things like that, but we import a lot from Brazil, beef, mostly from all over the world,
Hey,
but
Brazil.
mostly from Brazil. Yeah, mostly from Brazil. And
I
we
think
have our own
Wanderlei had a
coffee.
question. Wanderlei, I think you had a question, right?
Well, Bruce kind of took my question because I always like asking about food.
That's right. I forgot. Sorry, man.
Yeah,
Bruce,
well,
I'm
we
supposed to
just
ask about the food, Bruce. Golly, no.
well, we Bruce asked about
The fruit.
fruit, but then there's
fruit.
the Lebanese traditional cuisine, which is
Yes, that's what I would like to know.
yeah, that's it's very, again, it's very old. It has a lot of heritage. It's considered very healthy. I would say it's most similar to Greek food. If you want to compare it to something, it would be similar to Greek. It doesn't have a lot. It's very far from the Italian food, which has a lot of pasta and stuff like that. But it has a lot of olive oil in it, and a lot of fresh, vegetables and stuff like that. Lamb, beef, fish. We have a lot of fish dishes, and it's very for a small country. You'd be surprised what the variety is in desserts and meat and vegetable dishes and all that. So it's for a small country, it's amazing. You think that it's this country is hundreds of millions of people when you look at
Alex,
the variety.
I'm sharing my screen in the
Yeah.
so you can look at. Can you see the foods there?
Yeah. They're all very familiar, all very and these are just the food that you would find in a restaurant. I mean, then there is another variety which is home cooked meals, which are even different from these. And this is all. That's what I'm trying to say. With all this variety in a small country, which I guess is the result of the rich and very ancient heritage. The all these things I was talking about, the history of Lebanon over the years, all these things, now some of these were not originated in Lebanon, but they have been modified in Lebanon to a Lebanese standard. But and some of them originated in Lebanon. Some of them came from Turkey, some came from Greece, some came from Egypt, so some came from Iraq, but a lot of them also originated in Lebanon.
Alex,
so
do you remember when you came to Brazil? You said 3 times, right? Did
yeah.
you eat at a restaurant called Habib's?
No, I didn't.
That's
no,
an Arabic
that's
fast food restaurant.
I don't. When I travel, I tend not to eat Lebanese food overseas. But I remember eating feijoada de sábado when I was in Brazil.
Yes.
Yes, that was. I've almost felt like my eyelids were glued after I ate that. I had to go and take a nap immediately.
It's very heavy, many calories, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the food is delicious. I've eaten the food here in Brazil, the food that's, from that culture, your culture, and it's good. I like it. I mean, Habib's is a fast food restaurant, but there are other restaurants like in Sao Paulo that offer Lebanese type foods because there's a lot of Lebanese people here. And so it's delicious.
Yeah. That's it's all Lebanese food right there. Yeah.
Okay, Rep Vandalay, any more questions about food?
I think Victor can ask a question. He's been quiet, but he would love to ask a question, I'm sure. Victor,
Yes, I just
introduce
came in.
yourself a little bit. Just introduce yourself a little bit, and then Alex will answer your question. Where are you from, Victor?
Yes, presently I live in Belgium, but I'm from Cameroon.
Hello, Cameroon.
So I speak English and I also speak some French
Yeah.
because in
Ooh la
Cameroon
la.
there are two languages. We speak both French and English, but I'm more of English. I'm from the English area of Cameroon. I think it's almost similar to Belgium, where you have the French and the Flemish people. So we have that same history because Cameroon are two countries that came together after colonization during independence. So because, before colonization, they were first colonized. The first people in Cameroon were the Portuguese. So the Portuguese were the first people to came in. Later was the English, but they were colonized by the Germans. And after this First World War, the Germans were defeated, so most of their colonies were taken away from them, and Cameroon was one of them. So when the colonies were taken from the Germans, they were divided and handed over to the French. Cameroon was split into two, and part was given to the French, the biggest section, and a little section was given to the British. So at independence, part of the part of the southern Cameroon, which was the British section, voted to join with the French section, and they formed one nation now called the Cameroons, which became the English and the French. So I'm part of the English area, and I'm in
Have you
Belgium.
ever visited Lebanon?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't visited Lebanon, but I wanted to go there, but I don't really have friends or people that if I was to
You
go
have
there, I
Alex.
could.
Alex lives there, man.
No, there you
Yeah.
go. Alex is going to invite you. That's
Yeah,
for sure. That's very
Yes,
subtle.
and I know Lebanon is one of the ancient countries that if you are a Christian, there's no way you can learn without coming across Lebanon, which is in the Middle East. So
yeah,
it's a country that is well known, is well established, is
yeah.
well known, has a very rich history. And I'm happy learning more about Lebanon. And who knows, maybe one day this group will create a vacation that we
Can
can
I
go
ask
in, go
That
Victor?
and
would be
visit
wonderful.
countries.
That would be
I'll be happy
wonderful.
to go.
That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful.
So
Yes.
what's your question, Victor? Come on, you have to have a question.
Yes. I'm very, very anxious. I want to know what are the main touristic attractions in Lebanon?
Oh, okay, that's a good question because um, people come to Lebanon. Let me tell you, I've had a lot of visitors come to visit me from many countries around the world: India, the United States, Canada, Belgium, Italy, Portugal, all sorts of places, and Greece, even Greece, which is right here. And people come here, and the thing that strikes them is the nightlife and the restaurants. The cuisine with the restaurants, just not just the cuisine. I mean, the actual food you eat, but the service you get in restaurants, the time you spend having a meal in a restaurant, and the trips they have for tourists in the mountains, on the beaches, spending time on the beach, and we do have the traditional things that people visit when they go to a country, like museums, but it's not a big thing. And there are a few museums, but people go and see ancient sites, from the time of the Romans and the Phoenicians and others. You see there are some old castles and temples from ancient times. People enjoy that. They enjoy going to the mountains just the scenery, as I said, nightlife and beaches and these things, and the hospitality in general. People actually enjoy, feel welcome, and they feel at ease to communicate with the locals and get to know them, and just they're kind of like Brazil. It's Brazil is kind of you get along with people, and it's fun. It's a fun place. It's similar here.
So what about
Yes,
the nightclubs? The nightclubs for like disco dancing.
I wanted to ask if it's a secular country or it's a strict Muslim country.
Oh no, this is one of the problems of Lebanon. It's divided secular. It's not secular at all. It's very it's divided by even geographically. It's divided by religion. There are regions where 95% of the people are Christian, and other regions where 95% of the people are Muslim, and then there's a small region where the Druze, which is a sect of Islam, also are kind of concentrated. And even within Islam, for example, there are areas that have Shiite Muslims and are areas that have Sunni Muslims. So it's the whole country is divided. I mean, you go to Beirut, you can find everybody together and doing business together. But when you leave Beirut, even Beirut, let me go back one step. Even Beirut is divided into certain sections, and each section has its own religious character. So they mix together. You cannot. It's not very easy to identify them physically, one or the other, from based on religion or even the way they talk, but they are separated in everything. They do business together, but they live in different areas, and complete segregation. Absolutely, it's in a small country. It's almost several small countries within a small country.
And if somebody is to visit there, where is it best for a secular visitor to stay?
Well, Beirut, of course, which is a mixture of everybody, and well, I mean, there would be more entertainment and hospitality and nightlife if you go to the course.
Okay, thank you.
Alex, where you live sounds amazing. 10 minutes from the beach and 10 minutes from the mountains. Well, if I go to Lebanon, I'm gonna go visit you. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's close. Everything is close by. And Beirut, if there's no traffic, is only 15 minutes, I guess, from here. If there's no traffic.
Really?
Traffic is very bad in Lebanon because the roads. Let me tell you, because the Lebanon in the 60s and early 70s was called the Paris of the Middle East, of the East, and sometimes people call it the Switzerland of the East. And it was a very beautiful place, very organized. Law and order was everywhere. And then tell you a little bit of history. And then during when the Palestinians left from what's now Israel, and they came to Lebanon, they stayed in camps. And there was a time when in 1975, the war broke out between the Palestinians who came to Lebanon and the Christians of Lebanon. From that point, the war was for about 2 years, but never really stopped from 1975. And from that point until now, the government there is a government, but they're not very efficient. So the roads are kind of, everything we have was built before the war, and just kind of patched up. Nothing's been properly renovated or fixed or expanded, or a few things here and there, a few highways, or maybe a couple of bridges that kind of, they were steel and they were changed into to concrete. Now the construction, the private construction is incredible. I mean, there are high rises everywhere in Beirut, modern buildings and all that, because it's all private sector. Private sector is fine, but the public sector and everything that's supposed to be initiated and controlled by the government is very poorly done, because the government is very, very, very corrupt. I mean, if you think there's corruption in South America or in Africa, you come to Lebanon. I mean, the politicians in Lebanon are billionaires and billionaires, literally, not millionaires with a B, and all from the horrible corruption that takes place.
Wow. Hey, Choli, are you comfortable asking a question? Try to take out of the mood. Let's see if Choli is going to ask him a question. No.
Now?
Yes.
Hi.
Sorry.
So.
No, we hear you now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. No, I'm okay. I don't have questions. It's okay.
Because I think, I'm sorry to mention that, but there's some similarities with you, what you've been through, and what Alex also goes through when it comes to the war. So I think it would be interesting for you to share a little bit and see what has to say about it.
Yeah, Simona. Yeah, it is. I am also from Iraq, and I am now 8 years in Belgium. I'm living in Belgium. But there's very issue in the Middle East, and problems and political problems.
Pretty much the same, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm same Alex. Yes. Yeah.
Carlos, do you have another question? Maybe you went outside. It's getting hot for you there.
Oh yes, but maybe I guess it's will raining because it's raining in Rio Grande do Sul, South Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very, very heavy rain. Let me know, Alexander, about the sports. What kind of sports the people in Lebanon practice, or
interesting
young,
question.
old,
People,
golf, tennis, sailing?
Yeah. You asked a very interesting question. This is very interesting. You're gonna love the answer. People in Lebanon like football.
American
they play
football. American football.
No, football, not soccer. I mean, soccer. Sorry, not football. Soccer.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Soccer, not football. So which for Carlos is football, and they love it. They play it. It's played in schools everywhere, but it's not. The standard is not that high. I mean, it's okay. I mean, Lebanon has never qualified for the World Cup, but has come close many, many times. And in fact, sometimes it's like they have to win one more game to reach the World Cup and never do it. But it's okay. But people absolutely love the game. And the big thing here is the country they cheer for the most during World Cup is Brazil. I mean, you see Brazilian flags everywhere.
Hey.
So that's but the sports that Lebanese people are best at is basketball. Lebanon has often reached the World Cup finals and won the Asia Cup and reached the final several times. Imagine Lebanon plays in the final against China, 1.5 billion against 5.5 million. And they
are short. The Lebanese, they're not that
they're
tall.
not. They're not. Actually,
They're
Lebanese
tall.
are not short. The average Lebanese is actually taller bridge, but it's, I mean, yeah, the average Lebanese or German, you know, or, so not that tall, but yeah, basketball, they're good at basketball. A lot of people play tennis, martial arts, skiing,
And sailing and motorboats.
Say a little bit of that, a little bit. Skiing,
Yeah.
it used to be more skiing, you know, before. Cycling is not so good here because it's so mountainous. I mean, it's hard to cycle. You know, it's up and down. It's not easy. And I think there's motorsports. You know, rallies. They have a rally here. Yeah, it's a variety of things. But I think
do you guys play cricket? I guess I'm
no cricket,
stereotyping.
no cricket, no baseball. Absolutely no.
Really?
There's just one golf course, by the way, but no cricket, no baseball. I mean, absolutely none.
Okay, thank you, Alexander.
People play volleyball here as well. Yeah.
Volleyball, okay, or beach tennis.
I love
beach soccer.
Yeah, beach. Yeah, but nothing like in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you, Alexander. What
thank you.
about music? For instance, I am in Beirut or Tripoli, and I turn on the radio FM radio station. What it's the people listen in Lebanon. American, European, local songs, Arabic.
Well, it's a mixture. It's a mixture. People listen to both. They listen, you know, several years ago, you know, when I was young, people used to like French music because Lebanon for a while was a French colony. Now, not so much. It's mostly American, British, popular music for the young and even the old, and also with some Lebanese music, which is very unique. Lebanese music it's different from Egyptian music, different from Turkish music. It's unique, and there are several Lebanese artists, you know, singers, musicians that are heard all over the Arab world. You know, they're very popular, and some sing in other languages as well. But in Lebanese culture, their Lebanese music is how can I? You can easily check it out on the internet, but it's somewhere between, you can say, Indian music and Western music, somewhere in the middle, as far as the music itself. It relies a lot on the vocals, the vocalists. You know, it's a big part of the music as opposed to, you know, the guitar and the drum and stuff like that. So it relies mostly on the vocals, and but people listen. I mean, you can find maybe that's 30% of the what people listen to, and the other 70% is mostly American and British music, you know.
Okay, thank you, Alexander.
And by the way, people like a lot of Latin music here, and there are a lot of dance studios where they learn Latin dancing, you know, tango, samba, all these things. You know, they like it. The Lebanese somehow like the Latin music and dance.
Okay, very good.
Next time, Alex, you're gonna show us some dance moves then. You are
You're choosing the wrong person.
Well, the way you explain the situation, I'm sure you can dance. Now you're being shy, eh? Okay.
Alex, what is your profession?
That's the most difficult question. Alex, you got a difficult question, eh?
That's another interesting question. I am originally a civil engineer, and I worked in civil engineering and construction. Here, let me start from the beginning. I was born in Nigeria, like Ken, and like Ken, and probably from the same region as Ken. I think Ken, you're Yoruba, right?
Oh, Ken, you're muted.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. I think you're Yoruba, right?
Yes, my mother is Yoruba. My mother.
Ah, okay. So okay. And your father is from the north.
No, my father is from the down south, Delta.
Oh, Delta. Okay.
Where you have the oil. Yeah.
Yeah. I know Port Harcourt area.
Yeah, Port Harcourt area. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was born in Lagos, and
I was
grew
born.
up
I was
there.
also born in Lagos.
Okay,
Now,
so
what a
in Lagos
small
Island
world,
itself,
guys.
actually.
I was born also in Lagos Island.
You
I
guys
was
are
born
brothers
in
from another
Lagos
mother.
itself.
Lagos, 1965.
I was born 1966.
Okay,
Okay, guys, we're gonna have to.
he's my mother from another, my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
amazing is this? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Anyway, so I was born and raised in Nigeria, then moved to Lebanon for a while, then moved to Canada for about a couple of years, then went to university in the United States, and then worked in St. Louis, Missouri for several years, and then went to Nigeria again, and then spent some time, and then went to Lebanon, spent some time in Italy and other places, then went back to the United States. So I've been all over the place.
Yeah, I get
Yeah, and now I kind of spent some time in Florida, but I spent about 14 years of my life in St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah, so all over.
I think Carlos is a civil engineer.
So
No.
when I went to university in St. Louis, I studied civil engineering, and I worked there, for a construction company for several years. And then when I went back to Nigeria, I worked in construction, and then I kind of moved into the natural stone business in Lebanon, and then went back to St. Louis and opened up a business with some other partners in the natural stone. And then a few years later, moved into the quartz business, which is what Simone does. She works in the quartz business. So I worked in the quartz business, and I still do. But the situation in Lebanon is so bad right now. There is, and here's something that you guys are going to find very strange. In the year 2019, there were some riots in Lebanon, and then the banks closed, and they were closed for about 2 weeks. When they opened up, everybody's money is gone. All the saving, everything, just everything people had was gone. And up till now, they've been giving them giving people nothing, peanuts of their money, and it's most likely that the money is gone forever. And that's been almost 5 years now.
Wow.
So the economy is a cash-based economy right now. And
sorry to hear that, Alex.
Yeah, so it's a cash-based economy, and of course, when there's no banking sector, construction, people build big projects. We know to go get a loan from the bank. So when the banking sector is gone, construction is very bad, and it's been getting worse and worse. Which is strange because traditionally Lebanon had a very, very vibrant and prosperous banking sector, and people from all over the world invested money in Lebanon, and they were the banking sector was renowned worldwide, very efficient, and Lebanon, there are, like, I think, in such a small country, like 70, 80 banks. So that has been decimated because of what happened, and they're waiting for capital controls, and that's not taking place yet. So that's why my business, which is the course business, has been getting worse and worse in the last few years. And the only business that's doing well right now is basically anything to do with food, because people have to eat. You know, food is fine. And then because it's a cash economy, there's a lot of that leaves a lot of gray areas for people to make money, you know, money laundering and stuff like that. So there's a lot of money as a result of that. So I mean, you see people, some people who were nowhere to be found a few years ago are now extremely rich, and people who were very comfortable are suffering, and some people who were very rich are now poor. I mean, some people who were millionaires a few years back cannot afford to go to the doctor and get treated. So it's something happened here that's very, very unfair, you know. And people who had loans, who had borrowed money from the bank, didn't have to return anything. They just returned at the old exchange rate, which is nothing. So, you know, somebody who borrowed $1 million returned it like 10,000. Give the bank 10,000, he's free. So people who had borrowed a lot of money are now prosperous, and people who had savings are poor. So everything turned upside down.
So what's that?
Yeah.
Luckily, you have some business in the United States, I guess, Alex. Because
very not much, not as much as I would like. Yeah, not as much as I would like. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's a very, for us, Brazilians, let's say, that never been to a situation like this, it's very distant for us. It's very difficult to imagine how you can live years of your life not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. And
Simon, let me tell you, I tell you one thing. It's not as far from reality as you think. It can happen in any country, anytime.
It did happen in Brazil. It happened in Brazil.
Yeah. It can happen. It can happen anytime, anywhere. I mean, it can. It's not as far-fetched as you'd imagine, and it's very difficult. It is because the Lebanese are very resilient people. They're very resilient and kind of find ways. That's why they found ways to keep going, and there is a, you know, you feel you know, on the surface life is as usual, but it really, and you know, a lot of people who the people who were punished the most are the elderly. I mean, somebody who worked 60 years of their life. Exactly. They want to relax. They save some money, you know, to give to their grandchildren and children, and live the rest of their years. And then they have to go to the bank and wait for hours just to get $100 or something. It was so demeaning for them, and it's sad. It's sad for the elderly, you know, who worked hard and made, and some of them were very, very wealthy, and then were turned into poor people.
Yes. On a little bit of a sad note, we're going to have to wrap it up this session tonight. Alex, thank you so much. It was for us very inspirational, I believe. Everybody who was here had a chance to get a very elaborated answer from you.
Thank you so much.
Think everybody got their chance.
Thank you, Alex.
And I really hope we're going to be open to come back and meet the other members of our community. Unfortunately, today they were not able to because also the holidays, they had some busy schedules, but we'll definitely try to make it up for you with the full session of Brazilian hungry people, hungry for knowledge and also curiosity. For the rest, thank you all for being here as well. I think now for the ones who are a little bit in doubt of how this project is going to work, you have a glimpse of your session as well, so you know how we're going to act and react in the near future, let's say it. Thank you, and I hope it was what you expected to be, and definitely gonna be able to call me, contact me, and book a session. It's still for May. We still have some openings. Otherwise, we're gonna do it in June. No problem. All right, guys. Bruce, Vanderlei, and Carlos, thank you for being here as well. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. You guys have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.